Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Um, hey, before I get started, I haven't done a shout out in a couple videos, so let me. I'm going to talk about a few channels right now that I think are worth watching. One of which is TheHotCorner. I may have mentioned him before, may not have. If I didn't, I'm doing it now. So TheHotCorner is a good one to check out. I'm also going to put a description or tag these guys in the description. Commenting Collector was someone who was recommended I should watch, and he's got some great material. Um, Confluence Sports Cards, I think I got that right. He is a new channel. I think he's got one video, and I believe he's buddies with a couple YouTube legends. And he's got some good stuff as for his first video, so it's worth recommending checking out. The other one I just kind of stumbled upon, this will be the last one, is Half Century Collecting Cards. And talk about, I've only watched a couple of his videos so far. One just kind of came across in the algorithm, but his Hank Aaron collection, oh man, check them out. So I'm going to put those in there. But the reason for the video is it's a brand new year. A lot of people talked about goals, in some of their videos that were coming up, or goals for this year, I should say. So I want to talk about that because there was one of my favorite channels out there, and there are many, but one of my favorite, content is 5 cards everyone should own. And that is by John 3D80's Kid. John does a great job with his content. He's also a great moderator for 4 collectors. I'm going to tag him in this so he knows what I'm talking about, because he may have just said something, what I'm going to say, and had no intention of this to be a video about. In one of his last videos, he had a consignment with CIA auctions, and just kind of wanted to see how it did. It did well. I'm going to recommend CIA as well for anyone looking to churn or sell or buy other stuff. But in that video, John had talked about swapping out a player that he already has for something else that he wanted. And we do this all the time. I do it a lot. But John likened that to, hey, I'm making some changes, time to prune the bonsai tree. And I thought that was like a light bulb went off in my head. I thought it was just spot on, a perfect way to describe what many of us do, including myself. We collect cards, and sometimes they make the cut, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they make the cut, but we realize we want something different, and there's just a lot of things to do. But getting back to bonsai, I'm not an expert at that at all. I think it is kind of cool. But I first thought of Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san from Karate Kid, and just kind of like the life lesson that there was in there, and it does relate to cards when you really think about it. So bonsai is, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, basically means a miniature tree in a shallow pot, or a tree in a shallow pot. And, it's from Japanese culture, although I believe it also originated from China. But the Japanese, this is to signify harmony and like resilience and joy, all positive things. Kind of what our hobby does for us, what collecting does for us. It's not designed to produce fruit or provide shelter or even really grow to full size. It's more ornamental, which again is kind of what our collections are. They're not designed to, well, some people may collect them to get future money, but for the most part, they're designed to, create harmony and joy in our life. We all work, we all have families, we all have challenges outside of the hobby, and when we do the hobby, we we do what we like. We collect what we like, we buy what we can afford, and everything else that goes in between. But so I thought that was a really good reference because, if you remember the movie, there's really no right or wrong way to prune your bonsai tree. Just like there isn't in the hobby. There's no path. Sometimes you're on a path and it may change. And that's okay. So I just really kind of wanted to talk about that. And especially right now, it is the new year. A lot of people have made some goals that they want, whether it's saving money for Strongsville, which, by the way, I know there was a big change with Strongsville. Everything's going to be fine. It's still a card show. You're still going to meet a lot of YouTubers out there. So go out and have fun, and hopefully you pick up something good. But a lot of people are saving for that, or they just have cards they want to acquire. Some people have a budget set aside as it goes. Some people, like myself, sometimes go way outside their hobby budget, and because of influencers on YouTube, or we'll see something at an auction and didn't realize we won it until we saw it. So it's important to know that there are ways, to get that kind of stuff. And sometimes just we have things that just doesn't make any sense anymore. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. But if you're thinking about selling some items or going a different route, the couple of things I would strongly recommend are just kind of evaluate your collection. I do that often. I take out a box or two at least once or a week, twice a month, and just kind of go through it. Oftentimes you're going to find some things and you're going to, remember what you're doing here, remember your focus, but you may find some things that just don't appeal to you anymore. And, so when you assess what you're looking at, if it doesn't make sense anymore, or if you no longer have that passion about it, you may want to get rid of it, So I think the most important part, well, it's kind of a two-part thing. It's, evaluating the collection and all that good stuff. That's just as important as planning on your strategy, planning on how I want to sell it. Do I want to bring it to trade night? Do I want to go the eBay route? Do I want to sell on eBay myself? Do I want to use a consignor on eBay? There's a lot of pluses and minuses. You guys can figure those out. I've sold myself on eBay. I've sold through some of the consignors on eBay, like 4Sharp and Greg Morris, and they do a good job. I've used auction houses like REA and Sterling Sports Auction, and I'm considering working on a little consignment for CIA as well. CIA is a nice auction. I've been noticing their material for the past, I guess 7 months since I've been aware of them, and they got some good stuff. And I've met the creators and the owners of that. They're all great people. John had great results from that. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it. And I think, just be open to change, it's okay. It's okay to go out and sell some things. And I don't know if this video made sense. I just kind of wanted to bring it up because that I do this often. And when I say often, I'm not saying every month. I mean, about once a year, and sometimes twice, I will, kind of reevaluate what I'm doing. And that's going to happen moving forward. I'll have it no other way. I enjoy the way I collect. You collect what you like, collect the way you want to do it. So there's all these hobby golden rules as we make them up. So I'm rambling right now. I'm going to stop, and every video needs to show some cards. So I'm going to turn the camera around and just show you some things I probably haven't shown before, but just kind of random. So, thank you. Okay, I got the camera turned around, and yeah, I said that there was no rhyme or reason, but these are all black and white, and they're 4 of the 5 are postcards, and there's a couple Bob Feller items. So you know what? It's kind of more Bob Feller and Cleveland Indian and a pirate. So kind of that central area. I guess speaking of Strongsville, there's some Ohio things in here. But the first thing I'm going to show is probably the biggest. And this is a 1948 Tom McCann promotional piece. So nice, real nice image of Bob Feller. These things are beyond paper thin. There's some holes in this one, but the image is great. I mean, these were given out to people who bought Tom McCann shoes, as you can see from the logo down there. But this is from 1948. Nice little baseball quiz on the back, and kind of nice to have this piece. I just, Bob Feller, I'm not a huge Indians fan. I do like Bob Feller, but he's like one of those guys I just have a couple of items from. So that's the 1948 Tom McCann Bob Feller. This is also from 1948. This is the team issue postcard. You can tell just from the way this is done right down here. Another nice pose. This is not used on the back. A little bit of, actually that's, well, it's not on the postcard, but it's just, I need a better top loader. Maybe time to swap one of these out. That's just some tape residue. But again, I kind of prefer postally unused, but I do have postcards in my collection that have been used with stamps and everything like that. So they're kind of cool. It's Bob Feller. Here's his counterpart, Bob Lemon. This one is a team issue from 54, I believe. I'm going to have to look this up again, but there are certain ways to tell. It's mostly about the down here, but this is Bob Lemon. It is signed, not authenticated. And actually, yeah, look, I can tell you right here. I forgot this one was stamped. This is from 52. There's the stamp coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. Ken Maurer was the lucky recipient. So a lot of these postcards, and I'm going to show you one in a second. A lot of these postcards, they were manufactured for fan requests for autographs. So that's Bob Lemon. This one I know is from 56. That's Bob Feller. That one's signed too. Bob is one of the prominent, or was one of the prominent signers in all of baseball. And I did have an opportunity to meet him at a show. I want to say this is maybe 2000, 2001. Great guy. Real, very, very gracious person. This one is also used and stamped. And there's just the address right there. But Bob did sign that, and that is Bob Feller's signature. But that's kind of cool. And these things are affordable, but they're just very, very cool. I thought this one was unbelievable. And this is Ralph Kiner, and just a great, great auto. This is the only Ralph Kiner card I have in my collection. And I think I've only owned another Ralph Kiner once. I think it was a 51 Topps. But this is a 1952, again, a team issue. And getting back to what I said earlier, a lot of these were designed to accommodate fan requests. So that's a beautiful signature of Mr. Kiner right there. On the back, as you can see this thing. Well, there's the postmark. And that's from 52, coming right out of Pittsburgh. But now this is probably not him typing this. But Jackie Urban, I guess, had written Mr. Kiner and looking for an autographed ball. Sorry, Jackie, I don't have a ball to send you. Hope you'll understand. Thanks for writing. So, there was a request for something, and either Mr. Kiner himself or the secretary, which is probably the latter, typed this postcard up and mailed it to him after he signed it. But hey, those are some random, well, not really random. Those are just some cards to show for this video. Again, collect what you like. buy what you can afford, and enjoy the collection and repeat as often as necessary. You guys take care.